The Dungeon23 challenge is mind-blowing. It's changing how I create dungeons, encounters, and my general outlook on mega dungeons and just generally creating stuff as a game master. But you might be wondering, what the heck is Dungeon23? Well, today viewers, I'm going to be talking about what is Dungeon23 in the beautiful year of 2023. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And by the way, if you like this kind of content and me talking about specific challenges or RPG content, feel free to like and subscribe if that's your thing. So, what is Dungeon23? Well, it's simple. You create a dungeon room every single day. And who is this by? Sean McCoy, who, by the way, I believe is a creator or someone who helped create Mothership, a very popular sci-fi horror TTRPG. So for context, this guy has been in the scene for a bit and has a lot of really cool knowledge. But anyway, back on Dungeon23. Dungeon23's premise, like I said, is simple. No overthinking, no plans, you can steal from other games, and you absolutely should keep it simple. All you gotta do is create one dungeon room every single day. You wanna pull from Tomb of Horrors? Go right ahead. You wanna pull from Traveler like modules such as Death Station and create an entire, spaceship that's haunted? Go ahead. You wanna create a sci-fi based dungeon? Cool. You wanna create a dungeon that pulls from, say, your personal budget, your best friend's wedding, your favorite TV show from your childhood, or some random crude joke you saw online? Well, go right ahead. This dungeon is for you to explore your mind and explore your own personal creativity. In fact, some people even separate it down into this: 365 rooms for days, 52 themes for rooms, and 12 levels for, 12 months. The best thing about this challenge is that it can be done wherever and however you want it. If you want to do this virtually, go right ahead. If you want to do this physically on, say, a book, graph paper, whatever have you, go right ahead. For instance, you can get a journal/notepad like Sean did and draw out each individual room, as well as maybe draw out specific pictures or whatnot in the room. Maybe one room is an open cavern with vines, another sits an ancient robot. You can get gridded paper and use that to create dungeons. Or you can get an online blog or a YouTube channel where you post your dungeon ideas each individual day. The biggest part is, don't get bogged down in details. Don't worry about what's in all these rooms. Don't worry about all the specific encounters, details, genre, or what the players are going to be doing in the room. That doesn't matter. Don't get bogged down in details. Just create. Start writing and get to it now rather than later. So, maybe you use a table from an RPG you love. Or maybe you want to figure out what's the loot in the room. If you really care that much about the loot or a particular thing in your dungeon, then just look for a generator to help you find that. And you might have noticed, but the Dungeon23 challenge doesn't inherently need to be about dungeons. It can be about anything you really want. Maybe instead of dungeons, you're doing a city. Maybe you're creating 365 specific points to a city. Or maybe you're creating 365 spaces to explore on a planet, or in an intergalactic starship, or in a galaxy. And you don't even need to create physical maps. You might think, oh, I need to draw out each room, but you don't need to do that even. For example, I created a table with specific colors, sights, senses, and things that triggered my mind and brain to think about dungeons. And it doesn't follow any kind of genre, it's just what's coming to my mind the day of. I'm simply creating to create, and to let my mind flow of ideas. And by the way, if you want resources on Dungeon23, there's some down below in the description box on how to get started. Okay, you probably realized I'm pretty excited about Dungeon23. And I am, because there is something really awesome about creating. And there's something really awesome about knowing that you're working towards an end goal. I think Sean McCoy in the Dungeon23 challenge and his personal blog made a great point. The greatest advice I ever got was, have something to show for your time. There's something beautiful about saying you accomplished something. That after working at something every day, you finally finished it. So start creating now. Who cares if it's February or March or June or July or whenever you see this? You have time. Just make sure you start now and have fun creating dungeons, cities, ships, whatever the heck you want, the way you want it. And as always, I'm your average very queer host, Blurry Disposition. Hope you all have an awesome day. Ciao.